The Soviet Union was a land filled with secrets, some born of human ambition, others whispered through supernatural legends. Throughout its existence, terrifying accidents and daring cover-ups were the norm, as the authorities sought to maintain the illusion of control. Yet beneath this rational surface, a dark undercurrent flowed. The Soviet occult, secret societies, and macabre practices hidden from the public eye. Shadowy accidents and ruthless cover-up. Soviet history is marked by disasters shrouded in mystery and deceit. Perhaps the most infamous is the Chernobyl nuclear catastrophe. Documents released decades later revealed a trail of ignored warnings, unreported accidents, and systematic suppression of the truth to prevent panic. The scale of the cover-up left thousands exposed to radiation, forever changing the region and its people. Witnesses later shared stories of eerie lights and ghostly figures seen in the area before and after the explosion. Legends like the Black Bird of Chernobyl, a winged creature with burning red eyes, quickly became part of the folklore. Another notorious example is the Dyatlov Pass incident. 9 young trekkers met a mysterious and gruesome end in the Ural Mountains in 1959. Soviet authorities closed the case with a vague explanation. A compelling natural force. The real story was locked away, sparking decades of conspiracy theories, cover-up allegations, and hauntings in the frozen wilderness. Locals still whisper about unnatural forces and unexplained phenomena near the pass. Occultism and secret societies in the USSR. Despite state atheism, the occult survived in hidden corners of Soviet society. Underground circles studied alchemy, spiritism, and mysterious forces, risking arrest, persecution, or worse. Leaders of these societies kept their existence secret from Stalin's secret police while experimenting with forbidden rituals and rare manuscripts about immortality, psychic power, and communication with the dead. Secret police were rumored to investigate, and sometimes even exploit, occult practices for their own ends. Sometimes even high-ranking officials dabbled in occultism, seeking supernatural advantages in times of crisis. There are persistent rumors that mystical advisors or magicians worked alongside the upper echelons of power, and that strange symbols, stars, amulets, were left on key Soviet monuments. Urban legends and haunted places. Soviet cities were full of urban legends, cursed houses, haunted subway tunnels, and secret research labs where failed experiments left psychic scars. The Black Volga legend told of a mysterious car snatching children for nefarious, possibly supernatural purposes. Many stories featured encounters with apparitions, moving objects, and inexplicable sounds, especially in places with dark histories such as abandoned hospitals, ex-prisons, or remote military installations. Some base these tales on real experiments. Rumors circulated that Soviet parapsychologists researched telepathy, psychotronics, and mind control. Officially, such work was dismissed, but unpublished documents and witness testimonies suggest otherwise. Resilient belief and modern curiosity. Despite severe repression, ordinary people clung to ghost stories, folk magic, and clandestine rituals. In the late Soviet years and after the USSR's collapse, secret societies and esoteric teachings openly returned, fueling a new hunger for mystical explanations of the Soviet past. Modern urban explorers and researchers continue to seek answers, capturing strange evidence on camera and flooding the internet with first-hand stories. The tragedies buried in silence. The KYSHTYM disaster of 1957, one of the world's worst nuclear accidents, was hidden from public knowledge for decades. Residents living miles away suddenly fell ill, entire villages were quietly evacuated, and radioactive zones appeared on maps only years later. Survivors remember mysterious illnesses, state denials, and reports of strange animals and glowing lights in the contaminated forest. Many believe the silence around KYSHTYM allowed haunting echoes to linger in the region, giving rise to legends about ghostly figures wandering the exclusion zone. Other cover-ups include the Netherlands catastrophe of 1960, a massive rocket explosion at Baikonur Cosmodrome. Officially denied for years, the disaster took more than 100 lives. Families never received answers, fostering bitter rumors about experimental mishaps, unexplained fireballs, and even vengeful spirits stalking the launch site. The secret life of Soviet occultists. Despite the regime's crackdown, intellectuals, artists, and even prominent scientists sometimes sought answers in forbidden realms. Secret salons in Moscow and Leningrad discussed astrology, theosophy, and ancient spiritual practices. It was risky. An accusation of counter-revolutionary mysticism could end a career or mean arrest. Yet, these figures quietly traded rare books, deciphered magical symbols in Soviet art, and left cryptic graffiti on Moscow's underground walls. Behind the scenes, some Soviet researchers quietly pursued parapsychology and telekinesis. Files declassified after the USSR's collapse mention attempts to develop psychic warriors, remote viewing, and studies of haunted locations for military advantage. While much remains speculation, these stories continue to attract curiosity today, fueling documentaries and urban legends about the KGB's secret supernatural experiments. Hidden societies and forbidden knowledge legends persist about the so-called Red Mages, underground groups mixing Marxist ideology with occult rituals, believing supernatural power could strengthen the mission of the state. Freemasons, Martinists, and other secret orders allegedly survived the purges by operating deep underground, passing esoteric knowledge through coded language and art. Ordinary citizens too found comfort in superstition. Home rituals for protection, coded knocks to ward off evil, and talismans hidden in apartments or buried under doorways. Even as authorities promoted atheism, Soviet folklore was quietly reborn, shaping a unique, shadowy culture that blended science, skepticism, and the supernatural. Enduring mysteries. Modern investigators still hunt for the truth behind these stories, visiting abandoned bunkers, searching for overlooked archives, and interviewing the last witnesses. Recent years have seen an explosion in podcasts, books, and YouTube channels aiming to piece together the Soviet occult puzzle. Each new discovery adds another layer to a past that is as mysterious as it is real. Final thoughts. The history of the USSR contains many layers of official denial and grassroots belief in the unseen. Accidents and disasters, covered up by the state, gave rise to some of the world's most compelling modern legends. Combined with the persistence of occult societies and mystical practices, these tales remind us that even the most rational societies cannot fully escape shadows, mysteries, and hauntings.